All right, so I'll give you guys an update. It's been a minute since you've heard from me. I've been recording videos. I just got to sit down and go through them. And I think I say that in every video I make that I haven't put up. But tonight, I'm going home. It's Sunday after Thanksgiving. What is it, the 31st, the 1st, something? You're not going to show me, phone? No, my phone's not going to show me. It wants to focus. So, anyways, I'll give you guys an update what's going on. You see the feeder house is back on the combine. I got that taken care of. It's back on there, and I have to get a couple belts, and this thing will be ready to send on down the road. I might do a little something to the carb because it seems to be having some fits, but other than that, I need to get the flat belt for it. And while I have the flat belt off, yeah, I know you guys are going to say, well, if you're going to sell it, why do all this? Well, I definitely need to fix the flat belt because it's gone. But this drive belt needs replaced because it's about broken half in a couple spots. So then I might as well replace that one. And then I need to do these two fan belts while everything's off and I can get to it. Because to get to that fan belt, you got to take that pulley, the big pulley off, which I got to take off anyways to wire wheel it. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of it, but I might as well fix it. And who knows, if I do find a corn head by corn planting time next year, then I'll probably just keep it. But I don't see that happening. So plan is it's going bye-bye unless I find a corn head. There's a junkyard I'm going to call and see if they have one, because that's going to be about my only chance of getting one. And they'll have parts to fix one if they've got one that's missing a couple pieces or whatever. But this project's wrapping up. What we're going to focus on next is finishing this truck up. And I'm actually out here today. I'm not working on a single thing. I'm cleaning up because it's a disaster around here from working on this and everything. I've rearranged the barn, and it feels a lot cleaner, like I can actually do stuff in here. So I want to continue to clean it a little bit more and just get it to where I can work in here better and feel better about working in here, because all the clutter does bring you down. There's other things I need to move around and everything, but we're going to get that truck back together, and then from there I'm going to be working on the M. You can see it's leaking. It needs some attentions paid to it. It needs the brakes fixed on it. If you remember from last year, I think I talked about it. The brakes on the right side don't work. Or last spring when I was planting. That's why I didn't really use this tractor to plant. And the corn planter that's outside, I think I'm just going to use that corn planter unless I run across a good deal. I looked at a white. I didn't look at a white. I found a white corn planter up in Minnesota with a splitter on it, and I'm really pushing to try to get that one, but I just don't know if it's going to work out because it is a long road up there. It's 12 hours each way. So I'm not scared of a trip. I just don't know if I want to take off work to go up there and get it. And the dealer that's up there is not really cooperating with me. I wanted him to send me more pictures of it, and I haven't got any. So I might just forget that one. I did find a Cyclone 800 down towards Kentucky that I think it was a 6-row. No, it was a 4-row that I might inquire about, because it's actually way cheaper than what the white was. Yeah, it doesn't have a splitter on it. They did have a splitter option for them, I think, but that was a special setup. So might do that, go that route, get a different corn planter, get a Cyclone. They say they plant good population. It's just spacing was a little shoddy on those. But for right now, we're going to get that corn planter somewhat squared away, either to use or resell. But I got some more, like I said, I need to clean up some more in here. There's just, I mean, you can work around here, but there's just stuff that's laying here that's been here since the dawn of time, it seems like, that just needs to move. So that's what I'm going to focus on for the next few days or weeks, depending on how long it takes me to get belts for this thing, because I do have a place I can store this for the winter that it'll probably go and just be out of my way. It and the grain wagon can go there, which will free up space, because I do have some other stuff that needs done, worked on. Like I said, once this is done, we're going to the truck, and then Farmall and corn planter, and also the big semi, the International. It needs front wheel seals and bearings, so it needs to come in here. Excuse me, and it'll probably go where this truck is. I do have pretty much all the parts for this truck except the ring gear. Excuse me, I have to find a ring gear, and I had this dropped off at the local Napa that does machining, and they machine the flywheel, and they found a ring gear, but there was lack of communication between me and the Napa. We could never get a hold of each other, and he would call me and I'd call him right back, and it would never ring through, and I just got tired of that, so I told them to send it all to their main store. I'm picking it up, and I'll do it myself. So all I got to do is get the ring gear and put it on there, and I don't think I'm going to put a new clutch in it. The clutch looks really good, and I think I needed a throwout bearing, because this was a separate deal. I think, yeah, I needed a throwout bearing. Throwout bearing's on the table over there, which I have to find. I was in the process of finding that, I remember. And then we'll put this thing back together. It's going to be kind of a nightmare putting this back together, because I don't exactly remember how it came apart. There was a lot. The front was a lot more than just fenders and a core support and a hood. It was inner fender wells. There's decorative fender flary parts on the back, and that one on that side, the cab's rotted out where it goes, so it's broke off, so we'll have to try to put it on somehow. It's going to be one of them projects, which is why I haven't been at it. But I have most of the parts for it, if not all the parts. Well, I don't have that, but we're going to that here soon. Maybe as soon as when I get this stuff cleaned up, who knows. And eventually we got to get the 2010 in here and split it and figure out why it has no even gears, but I'm not too worried about that because it still runs and drives and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what's coming down the pipeline as far as projects. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, a while ago I talked about starting another channel. Me and Nick started talking about starting another channel called Grassy Ass Garage, where we would do fun stuff, kind of along the lines of working on old vehicles and stuff like that, doing stupid stuff to getting an old beater vehicle and doing stupid stuff to it, and just stuff like that, stuff with engines and cars and building horsepower and just all kinds of stuff and stupid stuff, you know, stupid teenager kind of things to vehicles. So I'm thinking about taking the other channel that I have that some of you are subscribed to. It's the Mr. Kubota Mini channel. I started when I was doing work for myself. I was going to post a bunch of videos working with the excavator and everything, and it's got like 15 videos and 15 subscribers. So I think I'm going to wipe it out and get that channel started. There probably won't be any content on it for a while, but we would also put on that channel any modifications to vehicles, like if I went and put different spring hangers on my Dodge or anything to my Ford, or just automotive type stuff, do something like that. And maybe down the road buy a vehicle and work on it on that channel. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the main channel that we work on the Lodestar on, which actually I did go to an auction yesterday down in it's got an Urbana address, but it wasn't in Urbana. It was actually right around the corner from where the Harmless Farmer lives, and just a ways down the road from Richard there at Old Farm Junk. And I was going to stop by, and I didn't have time, so because he's got some parts for me, but I didn't have time. But I went down there because they had a 1966 International CO 1700 Lodestar, which is just the one model bigger than this one, for sale. It was a grain truck, and it had a really nice cab on it. The fenders haven't been beat up on it. It was still a nice color. Actually had corn stalks painted on the door, which was kind of cool. The passenger window was cracked on it, but it didn't run. And I went down, maybe, get a good deal on it or whatever, either use it as a grain truck or do a cab swap or something, use it for parts for my build here. Either or, that was the goal of that trip, was that truck. And some kid ended up buying it who's gonna put a flatbed on it and use it to haul the show tractors on. He paid $2,000 for that truck. I was surprised, because I only gave $1,000 for this one, and it ran and drove. But these are starting to become more popular for builds and stuff, so I figured it was going to go high. Another guy was bidding on it, older guy, I have a feeling, was going to use it as a grain truck because it had the grain bed, had the cattle racks with it. Would have been a good grain truck, and that's what I was trying to buy it for, but I wasn't going to pay that much for it. That was way out of my budget. And they did have a disc down there I tried to buy that I didn't get, but that channel might be the focus for this truck, or the truck will be the focus of that channel, rather, when we do get back to it. I'd like to get back to it pretty soon, but who knows. And since my uncle's got his barn cleaned up and stuff, this car's supposed to be leaving when here, sooner than later, I should say. There's not really a set date when it's leaving, but it'll be out here sooner or later. And then my dad's got an old car that's supposed to come in here, and he wants to work on it. And we got an old Lincoln out back, 2000 Lincoln Continental that I crashed a few years ago. That's got a 32 valve engine in it. I don't know what they had in them. I just know it's 32 valve, and he was talking about maybe putting that in that car, because it's a fuel injected engine, but they have intakes for them. You can put a carburetor on them, so he might take that engine and put in it. So we might have some content for that channel sooner than later. But just put that plug in there. If you are subscribed to that channel, look for a name change of it, and probably a complete swipe of all the videos that are on it, and maybe an introduction video. And I probably won't double post any videos, because there probably won't be too many videos that cross over. I'm going to keep all the farm oriented stuff on this channel. Probably working on these trucks and tractors and stuff will stay on this channel. Maybe, I don't know. I do have a project I want to do that goes along the lines with this truck. The engine that's in this truck is going to come out. This engine's going to go in, and I want to take that engine and put in an M or something along that lines. There was one at the tractor show this year. They had it in there, but nothing was hooked up. So I want to do that, and that would probably be on the other channel, because that's going to be a cool, fun project when that happens. So I'm in the back of my mind when I'm looking for things or at auctions, I'm looking for an M, or like a 400, a 450, a Super M, something along that lines that's either doesn't have an engine or has a bad engine in it. So for that, but that's really all I got for a little update. I do have a video I'm going to put together about my soybean yield and how that turned out too when I get it made. But for now, this is what I got for you. There'll probably be a series of videos coming out, because I do have footage to go through and post. and some of it's going to be from a couple months ago, because I do have a video put together about putting the work lights on my Dodge and everything. So just there'll be some videos coming out here pretty soon, and maybe we'll see you guys on the other channel when we get it up and running. Maybe not if you're not into cars or into people doing childish things with cars, like blowing engines up or, you know, crashing them or stuff like that. And maybe we won't, but because we are looking to do some stuff like that. Well, actually, that auction I was at had a nice, well, it wasn't a nice, it was an older 1500 Dodge that ran and drove, just needed a brake line. That sold for $400, and that would have been the prime candidate to have a little fun with. You know, maybe cut the roof off of it and the doors and the bed and have a little go-kart thing made out of a truck. But anyways, before I ramble on too much, we will catch you guys in the next video. Don't know what it's going to be, but we'll catch you there, and see you then.